Hello everyone, I'm Philip Craig, a pre-sales consultant of the AI Business Solutions team at ANS. And today we're going to be exploring customer insights journeys, events management in this video. The agenda for this video today is to first explain what customer insights journeys is, and then I'm going to walk through the complete event lifestyle inside Dynamics 365 customer insights journeys. We'll follow two people throughout. And by the end, you'll see how a marketing team can run a full event, from invite to warm lead, without a spreadsheet or a manual email send. Before we dive in, a quick word on what we're working on. Customer Insights Journeys is a Microsoft marketing automation platform, and it's built inside of Dynamics 365. Today, we're focusing specifically on its event management capability, which is how it handles everything from venue setup and registration through to automated communications and lead generation, all in one system connected directly to your CRM. To make this real, we're going to follow two people. Sarah is the marketing manager at ANS. She's already set up everything, and we're going to walk through what she's built. Jamie is the prospect. He's in Sarah's target segment. He'll receive the invite, register, attend, and become a warm lead. Sarah built the machine, and Jamie runs through it, and we're going to see how it interacts with both. Sarah's starting point is one event record, and it does everything. The venue hierarchy enforces capacity automatically, building, room, and session. If a room is full, the next registration goes to a waitlist. No manual monitoring needed. Hybrid sessions are managed in the same record. The streamer toggle is on. A team's URL is generated automatically, and speakers are tracked against the sessions directly. James and Priya are internal at zero cost, as we'll see later, with Kevin Martin being external at a cost of £1,500. This is all recorded in the system, so let's go and take a look. So now we're inside Dynamics 365 Customer Insights Journeys, and we're in Sarah's view. So she's the marketing manager at ANS, and she's already set everything up, and we're going to walk through exactly what she's built. So this sidebar here is how you navigate around the application. Everything is organized here. So your event registrations, your venue management, your participants, you can click through any of these to get to the area which you need to get to. At the bottom left here, this is our area switcher. So right now we're in event planning. That's where all the event setup and configuration lives. But later in the demo, we'll switch over to real-time journeys, which is where the emails and the automated journeys are built. So that's the same application, but it's just a different area. So we're in our events view here. This has got the events that are currently on. We're going into the Copilot training event. So here we'll open this up. So this is the master record for the entire kickoff. Everything else that we're going to look through today, so that's our registration forms, the emails, the automated journeys, that's all going to connect back to here. So this bar at the top is the event's business process flow. It's a guided checklist that tracks Sarah's progress through every stage of running this event. So from the initial setup right through to the post-event follow-up, she can see at a glance what's been completed and what is still to do. So on the record itself, we have our event name. We know that it's a conference here. We've got our start and end dates, and that it's for the 28th of March. We also have the maximum capacity at the bottom here, which is at 150, and we've also enabled the wait list. So if it goes over the capacity, they will be sent into the wait list. On the right here, we've got our streaming options. So we've got do you want to stream this event? We've marked that as yes, as this is going to be a hybrid event. It's in person and also online. We can also set our streaming provider. So this could be a Teams meeting, it could be a town hall, it could be a webinar. We also have settings here, which I'll click into a second, but I just want to highlight below that this is a location section. So the building is the 1ANS buildings. That's where this event's going to be held. But we can also drill down into that a little bit by setting up rooms, which I'll go into later when we look at the actual sessions for this event. So if I open up our meeting options, we can see that we have lots of different options for the meeting. So we can choose who can admit into the lobby. We can show meeting info on the screen. We also have roles here. We can choose our who can present. We can choose if the attendees are allowed to turn on the mic, if they can use the meeting chat. We also have recording. Do you want to record automatically? Do you want to allow Copilot to be used? And you also have accessibility options. So that's just a quick overview of the actual event record. So if we come into the building record here, the 1ANS, so this is kind of more granular. So we've come from the main event record down into our building form. And we can see the building is called 1ANS. We have an estimated capacity of 150 and that there's 10 rooms. We can also see that there's a telephone number and we have the address, which is going to be in Greater Manchester with the postcode. We also have information for the facilities, such as the Wi-Fi password, and this can be filled out with anything that you really want. It's all customizable. If you wanted to add more fields onto here or onto the event form itself, then you could do that. So if we come back into our main event record and we look at the actual agenda, we can see that we have 6 sessions here. So we have an introduction, we have a Copilot in Microsoft 365 Vision and Live demo, we have a hands-on workshop and lunch, then the Copilot roadmap, what's next to them 365, keynote and a closing words. So if we click into one of these, let's click into the Vision and Live demo. Here it comes up with some, basic information about the event. It's a session max capacity of 100. So let's click and edit to pull up the form so we can see more information about it. So here we have our session and we can see that 3 people have registered for the session so far. We'll get into how people register for the sessions later on in the demo. We can see we have a session type, it's training, we have an audience type which is general, the industry's professional services, we have a session max capacity similar to what we saw before of 100 and also a scheduled start time. So this kind of mimics the actual event record, but as it's a session, that's part of it. It's a more granular kind of down the line type scenario. Again, we can stream the session online, we have the building, but for the session specifically, we have a room. So we see here we have the main auditorium, which is kind of just a room inside of the 1ANS building. As we have different sessions, they're all going to be in different rooms. You could have a breakout room, you could have 3 sessions at once, and your attendees of your event are going to go into different ones. So this room you can see, and this session is in person, but it's also online. So it's going to be a hybrid session. People can join in online. There's a Teams URL that's been automatically generated for the session, so people can join online if they want to. This will be sent out to potential attendees and then they will join it. We'll also show you how we do that later on in the session. So these sessions also have agendas. So you can see we have a session summary, discover the vision behind Copilot in Microsoft 365 and experience a live demonstration of their real world impact. So, same with the session objectives, session prerequisites, it's just a bit more information about each session if you're going to be, trying to get people to join these. Obviously, each session needs a speaker. So here we have a speaker who is James Fletcher. He's an internal speaker, so he costs £0. So James Fletcher is basically set up as a person inside the system as a speaker. And here we have, information about him, like his email, his website, his LinkedIn, his Twitter, and his blog. So if we were to come into one of the other sessions in the agenda, let's say the Copilot roadmap, and we come into the agenda here, we can see that we have Kevin Martin, who is an external speaker. And now because he's external, there's going to be a cost in terms of, getting him to do a session at the event. So the cost here is 1,500. He's also been set up as a speaker here. We have the same information about all the speakers. these people are set up inside the system. This can be information that's used again. You can log any information you want against it, and that kind of goes for the same for everything. All of this is completely customizable. We come back to the event record here. All of these fields here, you can add new fields in if you'd like to. So that's just a brief overview of the event itself and how Sarah would set that up. The event configured, Sarah needs a way for people to register, and she does this by using the registration form. There's no external tool, no developer, and it's built right inside of CRJ. The form catches intent at the point of registration. Jamie will answer the Copilot experience question that has been surfaced on the form, and that answer will follow him all the way to his lead record. The session picker inside the form also lets him choose which session he wants, and the moment he submits, a contact record is created inside of the CRM. So with the event venue and sessions configured, Sarah needs a registration page to send to attendees. So there's no external tool. She built it right here inside CRJ in the form tab. So this is the form. You can see that this is live, and Sarah built this once and it's now linked to the event. On the left, you can see there's a few key settings. We have audience, which is create leads for event registrations. We can also allow attendees to register for sessions. So this means that's automatically going to generate a lead and send that to the sales team. We'll see what that looks like at the end of the demo. We can see that the session registration is enabled. So when Jamie lands on the form, he'll be able to see all 3 sessions and choose which ones he wants to attend. And his choices are stored against his record the moment that he submits. So if we come back to our general tab here, we have our event URL. If we open this, here we will see a live preview of what Jamie will see. So he has the ANS branding at the top, and the event title, and then the form fields that Sarah has configured. So it's just the standard fields: first name, last name, email. These map directly to fields on the contact record in Dynamics. So the moment Jamie submits, contact is created or updated automatically. So no one needs to manually enter his details. So at the bottom, this is the custom question that Sarah added. What is your current experience with Microsoft Copilot? Jeremy will type his answer here, and it's stored against his contact record. So when his lead is picked up at the end of the event, we can see exactly where he is in the adoption curve. Before anyone even picks up the phone, they have that additional information about him. So below the form fields here, we can see we have the session picker. So Jamie can see all 3 of his sessions. We have Copilot in Microsoft 365, Vision and Live Demo, hands-on workshop, building with Copilot, and a Copilot roadmap, what's next in Dynamics 365. So he would tick the ones he wants. These choices are stored against his contact record when he submits, and he goes onto a waitlist for that specific session if it is over capacity. So the system handles all of this automatically without any manual intervention. Section number 3 is email templates. Sarah has already built 3 of them. She's built a registration confirmation that fires immediately upon submission. It has Jamie's name, the event details, and an add to calendar button, and also a unique QR code generated specifically for his registration for an in-person check-in. The joining instructions go out the day before, the locations, times, and the Teams join link for the hybrid sessions are also included. And the post-event thank you has a book a consultation button. When Jamie clicks it, the journey detects that interaction and creates a lead automatically. Let's look at each one. So we're now in the real-time journeys area. This is where Sarah has built the emails. So these 3 emails that she's built are going to be used in the communications side of the event management. In the next section, we'll see the journeys that send them and control the timing of them. But for now, let's look at what Sarah's put together. So we're going to open the ANS training event registration confirmation email. And here we can see this is the confirmation Sarah's built in the email designer. So firstly, we have a greeting. You can see that first name is in brackets here, and that's called a personalization. So when this email is sent out to Jamie, it pulls his first name from his contact record and renders it automatically. So every single person who registers gets an email that opens with their name. Below that, we have event details such as the date, time, and a reminder to bring a QR code for the day. Sarah has also added a add to calendar button. So that's one click and the event goes straight into the attendee's calendar. They don't need to do anything else. And this at the bottom is the standout piece of the confirmation email. Every attendee gets a unique QR code generated for their specific registration. On the day, staff scan it at the door and the system checks them in against the registration record in Dynamics. So that means there's no paper lists and there's no manual tick sheets. If we come back to our emails, we can open Sarah's second email, which is the joining instructions. So this email will go out the day before the event automatically without Sarah needing to schedule anything. So it includes the date, the time, the location. We have one ANS, one Archway Manchester. It's everything the attendee needs to know to get there. And for anyone joining the sessions remotely, the Teams join link is right here. So Sarah used the Teams meeting link option in the email editor, and CIJ will insert the correct link for the event automatically, so the attendees don't need to ask for it. And there's also a reminder for in-person attendees to have their QR code from the confirmation email ready for checking on the day. So that's everything they need in one email the day before. If we open up the third email, which is the thank you email, so here, this is a post-event thank you email, and it will go out after the event to everyone who's attended. So it's very short and focused. It's a thank you and a next step. Would you like to continue with Microsoft Copilot? And the key feature is the button at the bottom. So when Jamie clicks this book a consultation button, the interaction is tracked. So the moment he engages with it, Sarah's team knows that he's interested. So it's not a cold lead. That's someone who has attended a full day of Copilot training and then actively asked to speak to a specialist. So that's 3 emails, all built and ready. Sarah set them up at once, and the platform will take care of the rest. The customer journeys section is where everything connects. Sarah built 2 journeys. The first is outbound. It's a segment-based journey targeting the decision makers segment with 5 contacts including Jamie. It sends the invite, watches for link clicks, routes anyone who registers into the second journey, and nudges everyone else. The second journey fires the moment someone registers, confirmation immediately, joining instructions the day before, attendance branching after the event, and lead creation on intent signal. Branches based on real behaviour throughout. Sarah built 2 journeys for the Copilot training event. They work together. The first one gets people to register, and the second one takes care of everything after they do. Let's look at the outbound journey first. So here we are in our outbound journey. So this is the one that finds the right people and invites them to the event. It starts with a segment, which is decision makers. This is a dynamic list of contacts in Dynamics where the job title contains director, manager, CEO, or owner. There are 5 contacts in the segment right now, and when Sarah runs this journey, every one of them receives the invite. Jamie Chen is currently part of this, so he will receive the invite through this method. So the first step is to send the invite email that goes out to everyone. This is personalized with their name, event details, what sessions they're on, and the register button linking directly to the form that we showed earlier. The journey then watches this behavior. Did they click a link in the email? And this branch splits based on that. On the yes path, the journey goes one level deeper. It checks which specific link they clicked. If they click the register button on the register here path, they go off to the second journey, which is the registration journey, and that will take over from here. If they clicked on something else in the email or they didn't, the other path sends them a targeted follow-up nudge towards them registering. If they didn't click anything at all, they come straight out of the journey. On the second journey, which is the follow-up to this one, which is the Copilot event registration created journey, this will fire once that registration has come in. So where the other journey is about getting people in, this trigger-based journey is about taking care of the ones once they have. So the trigger here is marketing event registration created. The moment Jamie submits the registration form, he enters this journey automatically. That's in real time with no delay. So the first step is the confirmation email that fires immediately. There's the personalized greeting event details, the add to calendar button, and the unique QR code for the check-in on the day inside of here. The journey then waits. This will be 1 day, but for the purposes of this video, we've set it to 1 minute to show you it coming through in real time later on. And then sends out a Copilot training event joining instructions. After this, the event then checks in if the person has checked in, and if they have, they are sent a thank you email for checking in after they've attended the event. It's then checked for an interaction where they are able to use the book consultation button that we previously showed in the email, and if they do ask for a consultation, a task activity is created to create a lead inside of the system for the attendee. So now we've seen everything that Sarah has built, and we're going to switch to the persona of Jamie. He's in the decision makers segment, the invite email has landed in his inbox, he's going to click register, and that link is going to be tracked by the journey we showed before. He's going to land on the form, fill in his details, answer the Copilot experience question, and then he's going to select his sessions and click submit. From Sarah's perspective, a contact record will appear in Dynamics of everything she needs once this occurs. So we've already seen everything Sarah has built. Now let's be Jamie for a few minutes. So Jamie works at Whitfield & Co. He already exists as a contact in Dynamics, and his job title puts him in the decision makers segment, which is how Sarah's journey found him and sent him the invite email here. So he's opened it and he wants to join the event, so he's going to click the register here button. So now he's landed on the form for the event and he can enter his information. Also, we have this, what is your current experience with Microsoft Copilot question. So Jamie is going to put, I don't have much experience with Microsoft Copilot. And this information will be pulled through to his contact record. Below we have our sessions, so Jamie can pick whichever ones he'd like to join to. Let's say he wants to join the hands-on workshop and the Copilot roadmap. He can select them too. And it's worth noting that this is a hybrid event, so people who are only wanting to join these sessions will receive Teams invite links online, but the people in person can just attend these in person. So we're going to click submit, and now this registration form has been submitted. From Jamie's perspective, he's done. So the confirmation page appears immediately, and he'll get the confirmation email. The day before, he'll get the joining instructions. So he shows up and it's very simple. So the registration email is here that he's received. It contains his add to calendar button that we configured and his unique QR code here. The next email that he receives in the journey is the day before email, which contains the Teams link to the event. So it's worth noting that now that Jamie is done, if we come back to our persona of Sarah and we look at Jamie Chan's contact record, we can see in the personal notes that this has been populated with the information about not knowing much about Copilot, which can be actioned on later when we try and get in contact with Jamie. Also, we can see the event registrations that Jamie has now signed up for the event. And if we come into his event registration, we can see his unique QR code and we can see his session registrations, which are the two that we selected earlier. The event is finished. Jamie attended on the day, received his thank you email and clicked book a consultation. So we'll look at that from his perspective and then we'll jump back into Sarah's view and we'll see how registration and attendance is captured in the platform and how a lead record has been created for Jamie. So the event is finished. Jamie has attended on the day and his post-event thank you email has landed in his inbox, which we can see here. He's read it and he's pressed the book a consultation button and clicked it. So let's go back into Sarah's view and see what's happened. So this is Sarah's view of the event after it's run. Every single registration is listed here, their name, their email, their answer to the Copilot experience question, and their status. So the status reads in column tells a full story, registers mean that they've signed up, checks it in means that they've actually showed up on the day, and Sarah can see at a glance who's attended and who didn't. So there's no manual register, there's no spreadsheet, there's no post-event data entry. So we can see Jamie Chen has checked in, he was here, and below we have our event check-ins where we can see a log of each attendee. We have their check-in time and their check-out time. So this is all captured automatically on the day when staff scan the QR codes at the door. So this is the attendance data that the journey used to decide who goes down the attended path. So if we come into our lead section, we can see a list of leads that have been created for this event. So these have all been created automatically. They're all tagged to the Copilot training event and they're all the status of new and they're ready to be actioned. So Jamie Chen is right at the top here with the correct topic. So if we click into Jamie Chen's lead record, we can see that the topic is the Copilot training event. His first last name, job title is managing director. This is all pulled through. His correct company name is Whitfield & Co. But we also have what we entered before in his personal notes. So it says, I don't have much experience with Microsoft Copilot. So the person picking this up knows exactly where Jamie is on that Copilot adoption curve before they make a call or however they want to interact with him. So there's no handoff, no cold opening, no guesswork. They know that Jamie has joined this event. They know his capabilities with Copilot. And they know that he's submitted the form and he's asked for a consultation. So this is a warm lead for the A&S team to work around. Now that we've covered all of the key features of event management, let's pull it all together. There's one event record covering the venue, rooms, sessions and speakers, a registration form with a custom question and session picker feeding straight into the CRM, 3 email templates, a confirmation with a QR code, joining instructions with a Teams link, a thank you with a trackable consultation button, and 2 journeys working together. There's an outbound invite to the decision makers segment, a trigger-based post-registration automation for Jamie's full experience, which is automated without Sarah touching anything twice, and a warm lead carrying his Copilot experience answer all the way from the registration form to the sales team. That's everything from me. If anything we've covered today is relevant to what you're working on, whether that's a specific feature, how CIJ maps to your current marketing setup, or just understanding what getting started looks like, please contact A&S and we can guide you through your journey. Thank you.